Well, another extraordinary day in the history of Donald Trump today, as you say, taking the witness stand in a fraud trial where he, along with his two sons and the Trump Organization, are all defendants. Now, the judge in this case, Arthur Engoron, has already found that fraud was committed. What he's now deciding on is basically what penalty should be paid. But we have this extraordinary scene today of the former United States president entering the courtroom, a huge amount of security, as you would expect, including the Secret Service, taking the oath and then answering questions from the attorney. And right from the get-go, this was a hostile environment, and the tension between Donald Trump and the judge was obvious from the beginning. We've had repeated interjections from Donald Trump to the questioning, but also personal and direct attacks on the judge. And you've got to remember, this is not a jury trial. The judge will determine the penalties in this case. So it doesn't seem to be the smartest of legal strategies, but Donald Trump has accused the justice of being unfair. He said that his opinion was wrong when it came to already determining that there had been fraud. Donald Trump also railed directly against the state attorney general, who was here in the courtroom as well, and went after the prosecutor who continued to question him. Donald Trump is basically being asked how involved he was when it came to valuing some of the key assets of the Trump Organization. And that's including things like Trump Tower here in New York and Mar-a-Lago, his residence down in Florida, which Donald Trump says that although the estimates might be that the value was $18 to $25 million, he reckons it's well over $1 billion. And what we saw today was the real estate mogul of old really coming to the fore. Donald Trump spruiking the value of his properties and saying that he knew better than anyone else how much they were worth, and that this entire trial was effectively a sham. Sadly, for the audience, we don't have any audio or vision from inside the courtroom, except a very tiny bit at the very beginning. But we do have Donald Trump giving impromptu press conferences as he entered the court this morning, and this is a little of what he had.
It's a very unfair situation. This is really election interference. That's all it is. This trial is ridiculous. The numbers are much greater than on the financial statement. We've already proven that. They said Mar-a-Lago is worth $18 million. Mar-a-Lago is worth anywhere from probably 50 to 100 times more than that. And it's a terrible, terrible thing.
Mr. Trump has repeatedly and consistently misrepresented and inflated the value of his assets. And before he takes the stand, I am certain that he will engage in name-calling and taunts and race baiting and call this a witch hunt.
These are political operatives that I'm going to be dealing with right now. You have a racist attorney general who made some terrible statements, and you'll see some more that came over the wires today. It's a very sad situation for our country. We shouldn't have this. This is for third world countries, because it's political warfare, as you would call it, or political lawfare. Another name. That got a lot of names for it. But usually it takes place in third world countries and banana republics. Nobody's ever seen that to this extent. We've never seen it here.
But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters are the facts and the numbers. And numbers, my friends, don't lie.
To say. Now, Donald Trump has just stepped back up to the witness stand. They only have him for today. The judge says that Donald Trump is not giving direct answers. He says he wants them to be sharper because they need to get through a lot.